Mel, Kennedy appeared to strike a different...
Good afternoon, everybody.
So he told Colorado residents, for example, that vaccines developed with mRNA technology, of course, that was used for these COVID shots, but they cause serious harm and death. It's something that's not supported by clinical trials or that with the scientific community, and obviously, people try to get answers out of him on that. At the end of the day, was the health secretary able to back up any of the drastic changes that he's made to vaccine recommendations or to the leadership at the CDC?
Well, certainly not to the liking of the scientific community or the senators that were grilling him at yesterday's hearing. I mean, he really struggled to answer some basic questions, particularly as it relates to the COVID vaccine. He struggled to back up a lot of his assertions. He continued to say misleading things about the vaccines. So overall, I would say there was a lot of unhappiness with his performance. But we should point out that performance yesterday was for an audience of one, and that is President Donald Trump, who likes to see fighters. He likes to see people combative with members of Congress. So while it may have not been satisfactory for the senators or the scientific community, certainly that was a pleasing performance for President Donald Trump.
Some of those Republican senator questions were also clearly for an audience of one as well. So Mel, ahead of this hearing, the former CDC director Susan Menarez published an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal accusing Kennedy of politicizing public health. She wrote that before she was fired, she was, quote, told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel newly filled with people who have publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric. Kennedy was asked about this. He spoke about her firing at the hearing. What did he say in response?
Well, he was completely combative and defensive, and in fact, he denied that meeting ever took place.
What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon.
With the CDC director, and then he defended the decision to get rid of her. He said that his goal, stepping into this role, was to restore the trust and credibility at the CDC. He talked a lot about the missteps that the CDC made during the COVID era, some of the things that they recommended that later turned out to be perhaps unnecessary, and really used that as his argument for why some of these people deserve to be out. The CDC director was just confirmed this summer by the Senate to that role as CDC.
What's up, bro? What's up? Good afternoon, everybody. Text on the comments below. What's up? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What up? What up? How is everybody today? Text on the comments. Let me know what's up. I want to start my little speech soon. I want to start talking about some of the latest news. The stuff going on with COVID. There's a whole bunch of stuff, bro. Check it out. Text something. Let me know that you're listening. Let me know that you're watching. Amora Fuller, what's up? Why you cheat on your boyfriend? I don't cheat on my boyfriend, bro. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? I don't have a boyfriend, bro. What boyfriend are you? What are you chatting about, bro? It make no sense. Let me tell you something, bro. If you want to troll me, you're doing a good job. Because did y'all break up? Who? Who? Say who? State the name, bro. Z-Lot, what up, my guy? Miss you, my bro. What boyfriend? Say his name. Josh? Who the hell is Josh? I never heard of a Josh in my life, bro. Go ahead with all of that trolling. I'm here to talk about some good news. I got a good news report for you. Don't play stupid. What am I? I'm not stupid. I don't play stupid. Only stupid people can play stupid. If you're smart, you can only play smart. What up, Brandy? How are you, Brandy? Big shout outs to Z-Lot, Brandy, XOXO. Hugs and kisses all around. Emmer, he won't date you. He is straight. You know what I'm saying? Let him know what's up, bro. This guy's crazy. You got a lot of like weird people online that just like, I'm great. That's good. That's good. What's been going on? Talk to me.
Some of the others, but it was between New Mexico Democratic Senator Ben Ray Lujan and Kennedy. He was asking Kennedy
How's your day going? What you been up to? You been going live or what?
autism. Let's listen to that. We'll talk about the other stuff.
You said that your
I'm a girl though.
study claiming to reveal that
So what kind of girl are you? You're making up lies. You're trolling somebody. That's a bad girl. You're being a bad girl.
Mr. Kennedy, you
Stop trolling people.
David Dyer conducted
Obviously, that's a lie because it's not true. I was never with any guys. I was never with a man. I got guys that are my boys, that are my friends, bro. That's maximum as it goes. Other than that, I'm straight. He still won't date you, laughing my ass off. Right, that's what I'm saying. And there's no way I'm gonna date you, bro. Or girl, whatever. Yeah, I've been live. I will this weekend. Tune in. You better tune in. I miss you guys, yo. I need this support. I need some peace, love, dedication, motivation, love, and support, bro. Sometimes the chat gets boring, but right now I want to talk about the news. I want to talk about the COVID reports and stuff, bro. I want to talk about the war. I want to talk about the GDP, the economy. There's a new autism research.
These are people that don't actually care for patients or pretend to, and they're making big decisions. And how can
You know what? The sandwich never tastes as good as it does if you eat it there, bro. Once you bring it home, it's all soggy and stuff. So, here's a good topic, right? Right. There's no way I'm gonna date you. There's no way I'm gonna
Kennedy's revamped CDC vaccine panel is expected to meet on September 18th. It's coming up, but what are the potential implications of that meeting for things like future
Austin research would be great.
insurance covers them?
Autism research. Yeah, bro, because you know what? I got my sister, right? Check this out. My sister's kid is like so my sister's kid, he's 2 years old and he's not talking yet. And he's making like little noises and stuff, but he hasn't been really talking much. I have a niece who has served. I have a niece who has served autism. If they could improve things for her, it would be amazing. Yeah, bro, my sister's kid, he's still not talking. And we're trying to figure out if it's autism or if he's just niece. Right, because I read nice. So we're trying to still figure out if it's that he is like, a little behind, or if he has autism or whatever it is, It's really a serious thing. Imagine being a parent, having a child, and he comes out not like the other kids, That shit makes you feel down. It makes you feel depressed and bad and stuff. Sad. Really, really a sad thing. People don't think about autism until it happens to them or their children, their children.
Dr. Puja, thank you very much. And I appreciate you.
Revamped CDC vaccine.
Trump is expected to sign an executive order to rebrand the Department of Defense.
Yo, what up, though, guys? How are you today?
Title of the Defense Department. That is according to two White House officials.
How is everything?
White House correspondent Derek Gates joins us now with more on this.
What's going on? I should start a poll, right? What topic should we talk about?
What does it actually mean? Is this
Because there's so many different topics. Trump expected to sign order rebranding Defense Department.
for the Pentagon and saying that he thinks that another officials there can use
My niece's parents had to
related titles
Guilty. It's her fault. She has autism. Why do you think it's her fault? Yes, do that poll, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm about to start the poll and see what's up, bro. That's what? Wait a minute. Oh, to start the poll, you go here. Hold on. Start a poll. All right. Question. That's what I'm starting right now. Wait, what should I write? Like what topic? What topic?
Colombia has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration for doing that, for deploying the National Guard. What's being argued in this suit and how's the White House responding?
All of this is particularly confusing because of the unique way in which DC is structured. Here you have an elected attorney general who represents the district in lawsuits and handles some of the criminal cases here in DC, filing this lawsuit saying that the deployment of the guard here is illegal, that it shouldn't be done. And then
Why is it not dragging to where I want it to go? It's covering my face, bro.
not exactly right in terms of how the guard
This poll is retarded.
structured, and DC's mayor is notably not really a part of this lawsuit. She's been praising the way that
I can't do the poll. What topics would people most likely address? Maybe, yeah.
you've got a situation where the White House says
What topic should we talk about? Damn, can you see the poll or no? That's really weird. I tried to start the poll, but it's blocking my face. I'm gonna have to like tweak with it and figure out how to do it right. What's going on, guys? This sandwich tastes way worse at the house than it does in the place. In the place I go to, when you eat it, like right when they make it, it tastes so much better, bro.
says we can leave this facility open while the case continues. The White House is touting this as a victory. They think this was a sort of a
Oh man, it messed my sandwich up.
down an immigration policy that some folks in Florida don't like. Regardless, this facility will remain open in the interim.
Yesterday I had more than like 2,000 viewers, bro. Today it's only like 3 people watching me. That's crazy. Yesterday I had like 30 people watching me at one time. Now today it's went down. That's crazy. Hey, Sideshow, what up, dude? Big shout out to my boy Sideshow, bro. Tap the like button and subscribe, bro. We talk about different topics every single day. I'm giving you the news live, baby. Peace and love sent from above. Hard work, dedication, motivation. Let those words manifest themselves. You know, everybody that's tuned in to me, thank you for the support. I've been getting used and abused on YouTube a lot. I got a lot of people that troll, a lot of people that disrespect. Hey, dude, yeah, YT can be a flicky. What's a flicky? What's a flicky mean? Or thickly? Excuse me, I'm not that smart. I'm just trying to start something up. I've been going live almost every day. I burnt out for a little while, but I'm back, man. I'm trying to, you know, Devon Blankship. What up, my guy? How are you, bro? Thank you for tuning in. Please stop the trolling. Please stop making fun of me. I'm tired of all these people making fun of me and trolling me because that's why I got burnt out. That's why I stopped going live and stuff like that. But other than that, I want to go live every single day. I want to, damn, see? Flicky just means changing often. YT, YouTube. YouTube is changing. Damn, you gotta have thick skin to do this. Yeah, bro, you really do, bro. It's craziness, bro. You gotta be real tough and deal with all the people every single day. I don't be making fun of nobody, bro. You seem cool. Yo, thank you, bro. I appreciate you, but a lot of people on my channel that tune in, they tune in to make fun of me and everything, bro. My hat is wrinkly, my shirt is wrinkly, I'm gay, I'm stupid, this and that and the third. I'm tired of people doing that. But I mean, it makes the chat live because those are the people I answer to. Those are the people that make it fun. But at the end of the day, sometimes they say things that really could hurt your feelings, bro. That shit could really mess you up bad, bro. And then you burn out and then you stop going live.
Emergency docket or shadow docket. These are cases where
You could do it. You could do anything you put your mind to, bro. Trust me. Excuse me.
it's not sort of heavily briefed, with lawyers making all the different arguments. And then when the ruling
Yeah, nah, the trollers definitely make it fun. They make it more live. They do, you're right. But if you pay attention to them, they're only gonna troll more. They act like they hate you, they don't like you, they make fun of you, but really they like you, and that's just the only way they know how to open up to people, bro. That's just how it is. Right, anyone doing this gonna get trolls and people that are just mean. Yeah, hell yeah. I'ma pull up on my Harley. Yo, hell yeah, bro. Some American black sheep. Pull up, bro. So what you up to today? Nah, I'm just talking to everybody. I was about to talk about the news, but every time I pick a topic to talk about, everything just takes a turn, bro. Everything goes right back to trolling, people making fun of me and talking shit, and me answering these idiots back, bro. For some reason, that's just how it is on my channel. There's nothing I could do about it. And sometimes, yeah, bro, that's how it is. Lunch Crew, hell yeah, sideshow. That's what I'm talking about. Do you listen to Kasky? Who is Kasky, bro? Let me know right now. Who is Kasky? I'm interested and want to know what the hell is listening to Kasky mean. Are you? And let me know if you're real or you're trolling, bro. Because honestly, right now we need some trolls, bro. We need some people that could start making fun of me and making me defend myself. Cause that's the only way this thing goes live and this thing goes like to a lot of people. You gotta power through, continue talking about what you want. He's an artist. Yeah, bro, straight up. Because when I power through and I start talking about the things I want, I start getting more viewers. When I start reading people's comments, I read pretty slow. People start like flicking through, I guess, you know what I mean? But sometimes you're right. I just gotta power through, but I don't want to ignore nobody. I want to be nice to everybody. My initial goal was to read everybody's comments, bro. To read and answer everybody. Read and answer everybody's comments and stuff, you know? Kasky is a rapper sometimes with Yellow Wolf. Honestly, I think I heard a Yellow Wolf before, bro. I heard a Yellow Wolf. That doesn't seem genuine, my guy. You don't need people making fun of you to be noticed. Nah, I mean, so far my channel, that's how it's been, bro. It's me going live, them making fun of me trying to defend myself and make fun of them back. And that's what makes mad viewers come through, mad subscribers. Other than that, if I start like over talking, anything but trolling, bro, people just swipe up and get out of my channel, bro. It starts getting boring, I guess. Bro, you gotta tell us about the sandwich. If you munching. Nah, I don't smoke weed, I don't munch, but I eat 3 meals a day, you know? It helps its algorithm though. All comments, good or bad, push to others. Yeah, hell yeah, you're right, bro. That shit does help the algorithm, bro. Seriously. Don't let these losers troll. Just do your thing. Don't defend yourself. You're pretty chill. Yo, thank you, bro. I'm trying to be, bro. You know, I was born and raised, I was born in Ukraine, but I moved to Brooklyn in 1991 when I was 1 year old. And that's just my accent. My aura is just from New York, Brooklyn, bro. Saying the word bro. I sometimes I hate my accent. Sometimes I want to change it up and talk like a London British person, but buddy, I'm asking what kind of sandwich is it? Oh yeah, hell yeah. It's a grilled chicken on a roll, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise. I'm trying to eat healthy and I love the accent. Yo, good looking, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you so much, my guy. I tried, bro. I'm just being myself, bro. If anything else I was doing or saying, I would be pretending and acting, which wouldn't last long. Definitely wouldn't last long. At least I can act myself and just, you know. I'm trying to get new friends from YouTube, get new people to talk to, chat with and stuff because It gets lonely and boring living the sober life, bro.
Here's where the severe storms will be later today across parts of the Tennessee Valley. And notice there's still some rain that we're going to have to deal with. And then
Honestly, excuse me.
after the day, we start to see that ramp up the showers.
Of course, bro. You see? Grilled chicken on a roll, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise. I've been eating this almost every day. You know what it is? I gotta try to stay away from fat foods and fried foods, bro.
Lexington, Knoxville, on the way to get those alerts. Not super large chunks of country.
Fat foods and fried foods.
A couple of isolated brief tornadoes are on the table.
Because when I was in Kyrgyzstan, I did a OZ. And I found out there's like a 4 centimeter gallbladder stone. So I'm scared of that, bro. Mad scared of that. Even though they said if it doesn't bother you, you don't have to get the gallbladder removed.
Not here for the next couple of days. We potentially will be watching it into next week to see how it's impact parts of the Caribbean.
I'm in California sober. 27th of this month will make 3 years free from alcohol. Yo, my guy, bro. Congratulations, man. That's the way to be. Seriously, Sideshow, you know you're like 1 out of 1,000,000 people, if not more. A lot of people can't get sober. A lot of people just go down in that path of addiction, bro. It's sad, bro. Seriously. Congratulations to that, bro. Salute, bro. I hope you stay sober. You know, they say that it takes 3 years before your mind actually clears up from all that addiction.
Moisture and just some daytime heating that's really going to give us the chance to see some pockets of heavy rain that could potentially impact.
Thanks, dude. It wasn't easy, and I hope success is on many more. Yeah, bro. It definitely isn't easy. It definitely is hard. It's like a mental blockage, bro. It blocks you mentally from life, and then it starts taking over physically. It's like really crazy. Yes, my memory is getting better weekly. Yeah, bro. Seriously, you did it. 3 years is a long time with sobriety, bro.
Goes 26 feet in 45 minutes, killing 25 campers and 2 councils.
Wow, Camp Mystic parents who lost their daughters are fighting to protect
In an exclusive interview,
future Texas campers.
Priscilla Thompson has their story.
Wow.
She would be in 3rd grade right now, starting dance, soccer, about Halloween, but instead, she is lost in the Guadalupe River right now.
You know what it is? Sometimes the algorithm goes fast. A lot of people tuning in. Sometimes the algorithm just goes mad slow with mad people, with a little bit of people. Relocating camp will definitely help. Yeah, hell yeah, bro. They got some serious stuff going on in the news. Did you hear about the people from Venezuela that America killed on the boat? They were like drug traffickers. They were trying to traffic the drugs into USA from, I think, probably Venezuela. If they were Venezuelans, man, that Nicaragua or whatever it is. And America just killed him. And Donald Trump even made a speech about it saying, this is an example to all drug traffickers. Whoever tries to poison our America, poison our Americans, is going to be dealt with accordingly type of thing. All right, I'm headed back to work. I subbed, so probably be back. Keep it chill and stay strong. Yo, thank you, my guy. Sideshow, bro. I love you, bro. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching, tuning in, sending some texts. Love you, my guy. Yeah, Z-Lot, they are definitely about to be zero tolerance. This is a Republican. He's not playing. It's not a Joe Biden. This is Donald Trump. He's not joking, bro. He's definitely going to be serious about drugs poisoning Americans. They got over 100,000 Americans dying every single year from these drugs. Look at the Muslim countries. The Muslim countries have no drugs there, bro. The way that you have to buy drugs in even Eurasia, Asia, they make you go on Telegram and buy it through Bitcoin anonymously. Excuse me, and then you get coordinates and gotta go dig it out the ground. They hate drug dealers. They respect thieves over drug dealers. They respect burglars over drug dealers. They hate drug dealers. Anybody that's trying to poison is crazy, because most drug dealers that are drug dealers, they either start using drugs or their children start using drugs, which is very sad, bro. Drugs is a real big poison in this world. killing so many people, making so many people abnormal. They treat it like it's part of the economy, but it shouldn't be, bro. If Muslim countries and places like Russia and Kyrgyzstan could get rid of all the drugs to the point where everybody's scared to sell them hand to hand, then there shouldn't be no open air drug markets in America, bro. Yeah, that is the only good thing I could say about Muslims too. You're right, bro. Mandrid Fan X. Hi, yo, what's up, man? Mandrid, how are you? Oh, Louis McConaughey, yo, what's up, my brother? Long time no, yeah, bro. Been busy. I got a job. I'm on a 600 pounds a week. I stopped smoking and improving my fitness. Yo, Louis McConnell, bro. Big shout out to you, bro. Brandy's back in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, Louis McConnell, bro. That's mad good, bro. I haven't heard from you in a long time, my guy. It definitely feels good to hear from an old friend, bro. Or an old person. Word, Brandy, we'll need you here. That's a fact, Brandy. You better stop coming in and out, yo. Seriously, Brandy. We miss you. You know, we got a little team now. We're like creating a new friendship thing, you know, on a live YouTube. Oh yeah, well I'm here. Yo, I think Brandy brought me what's his name? Well, how is that guy doing from I think he was in Michigan or wait, he was like in the country. He smokes weed and stuff. I remember he got him to my channel and everything. Yeah, Justin, yeah. That's my guy, bro. Mad cool, yo. Where is he? You gotta tell him, yeah, he's still around. That's crazy, yo, bro. That's bugged out. I remember everything. I remember everyone, yo. Man, wow. I was gonna ask about her yesterday, but I couldn't remember her name exactly. Yeah, she's mad cool, bro. She's been with me from day one. Those are like the only people I'm answering, bro. I'm not answering anybody, like anybody that's new, trolling, and stupid. I'm only talking to my day one friends, bro, that's been with me since day one. I remember I had mad people yesterday texting me, and I would just look at the names and only answer the names that were mad cool with, that been with me since day one, you know? All these new people, like, they're trying to, like, explain something to me, teach me something, make fun of me, troll. Yeah, day ones. You guys are my day ones, bro. How can I ever forget? I got 1,060 subscribers all of a sudden. You guys are the ones that made it happen with me, bro. My parents are Iranian. Blabber. Oh, my boy Bala Bear is back. There you go. We got the troll in the house. Bad news. Chicky, chicky, chicky. That's what I'm saying, bro. Yo. Your parents being Iranian or you being Iranian is not a bad thing, bro. Don't worry about it, bro. I've seen Iranian people. I've seen Pakistani people. All types of people that live in America that you would never even know that that's what they are. You would consider them a all everyday American, you know? B-Bear is becoming a fan. Yeah, bro. B-Bear is a man, bro. That's what I'm saying. I got a lot of people that I got a funny approach. They approach like they hate me. They approach like they're making fun of me, calling me gay, whatever, all of this stuff. But really, they're mad cool. They just want to be, they're close to me too, you know? Just because they're trolls doesn't mean that I'm not cool with them or like, you know, they're just, that's the way their personality is. They feel uncomfortable saying peaceful, nice, lovable things to people. They gotta attack them and make fun of them to get close with them first. You know what I mean? That's just how it is, bro. I got certain people that approach me with, hey, I love you, you're so kind, you're so nice. And then I got other people that approach me, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're gay. And then next thing you know, those are the ones that I become more friendly with and everything. Like, those are the ones that stick out more. I guess they do that because they know they're gonna stick out more. They know that they're gonna be more friendly with me and everything like that. I was being nice testing. I know, bro. You're mad cool now. You're one of my good friends now. And I got a lot of people like that that when they first started with me or started the conversation with me, it was all negative. I felt like they hated me. I felt like they wanted me to disappear from planet Earth. But then as I went back and forth with them a little bit, they became like my best friends. They became mad cool with me and everything, bro. Appreciate you guys, man. You guys really made it happen. Like, you know, there's only one thing in life. I mean, there's a couple things in life, but one important thing in life is have some good positive energy around you, you know, or with you, you know. Everybody needs that good push, that good positive energy sometimes. Everybody needs a shoulder to lean on. Everybody needs some help. Everybody needs some peace, love, motivation, and dedication. Yo, Z-Lot, I love you, bro. Please tune in with me tomorrow. I'm going to be live tomorrow, I promise. I'm trying to be live every single day now. I'm trying to go back to that. Even though I burnt out for a couple of days or maybe even like a week I burnt out for, I'm still, you know. Hey, Eric Laponte, what up, bro? Yo, my guy, bro. I haven't seen you in mad long. I haven't heard from you in a while, bro. Or maybe I did. Wait a minute. Were you on yesterday? Because I'm not sure. I forgot. But I know that I remember your name. Anybody that's been with me since day one or anybody that I've spoke with, I kind of, when I go to sleep at night, I think about them. I think about when I do my next live, are they going to appear in the chat? Are they not going to appear in the chat? Or if they do appear in the chat, what is it going to be again? Is it going to be some trolling? Is it going to be some peace, love, and motivation, positive words, and dedication, or what, you know? So that's all it is, bro. But I respect every single viewer. I respect every single comment. I wish I could answer the whole world that likes me or respects me or whatever it is. But it's a lot of people that don't respect me. It's a lot of people that hate me. But if they continue to watch me and they continue to come troll me every day, I just consider them my friends. I just know that everybody's different. Some people don't know how to open up the kind way. Some people only know how to open up in a negative way. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to understand them and love them. I still love you, bro. No, not yesterday, but I was on one of your shorts and live the other day. Yeah, bro. I know you were on my live. I remember, bro. Brock Terry, what you believe, bro? Yeah. Whatever, fam. I believe that you're mad cool and that you're trying to be my friend, bro. A kind New Yorker. Exactly, bro. The kind of New Yorker that is all about peace, love, respect, motivation, and dedication. And, you know, I've been live every single day. I'm not going to stop. Even though there were some people that actually got on my nerves. And I had to stop for a week. I had to rethink everything. But now I'm back, bro. I'm back and, you know, I'm back and I'm trying to make it happen, bro. I got over 1,000 subscribers. I just need the 3,000 watch hours they want to get monetized, maybe. They want 10 million short views, which is crazy. I don't know if I could give them all that. Vaccine misformation led to an officer's murder. What the hell is going on? Eric Laponte, I remember.
His audible breathing was so heavy throughout that at one point an aide seemingly had to remind him to mute his microphone when he wasn't speaking.
Yeah, exactly. I was born over here in 1991. You see, Craig Posh is one of my day ones, bro. What up, Craig, bro? But yes, I was born in Ukraine in 1990. I came here in 1991, bro. That's a fact, bro. Craig Posh, one of the day ones, baby. Big shout outs. Don't forget to save your lives. They can. Yes, bro. I'm gonna start putting them public and. Yeah, it takes 5 days. I've been wanting to figure that out, bro, because I thought lives wasn't considered watch hours. I thought like people watching my live doesn't consider as a watch hour, you know? Damn, I got 0 watchers now. I did not know about that. I thought that the lives don't count as watch hours, bro.
And you're sitting as Secretary of Health and Human Services. How can you be that ignorant?
Ball Bear 1. What is the one about, B?
With Director
Baller Bear. That's what I'm gonna call you. Baller Bear, bro.
Vaccine Record
Ain't that a good name? My man, Baller Bear.
aligned with scientific evidence. No, I did not. That's a yes or no. So you have an opportunity to call her a liar if you say that you didn't do it. But I'd like to see you respond to this. No, I did not say that to her. And I never had a private meeting with her. Other witnesses to every meeting that we have, and all those witnesses will say, I never said that. Are you aware that another one?
Like the Jungle Book. It's my cat's name. Oh, one. Oh, all right. One. I got you. Right now, I don't know if anybody's watching me, but my thing says 0 people are watching me. So if you are watching, text. But right now it says nobody's watching me, so I'm not even gonna talk anymore. I'm gonna quiet down
Should parents and schools
until I get a viewer, at least one viewer.
outbreaks as
That viewer might make me continue to go.
outbreak? I do not anticipate change.
I love you guys, bro.
Ideas that are completely outside the mainstream. The pharmaceutical paradigm.
Oh, you are Laponte? That's my guy. Thank you, bro. It says that there's one person watching me, so that's probably you. But if nobody's watching, I'm not gonna be talking to myself to the screen. Once I start getting some viewers, even if it's one, I'll talk. But why would I talk to myself? You know what I mean?
Last November, while you were under consideration to become Secretary of Health and Human Services, Mr. Kennedy, you said, quote, if vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. You would not take away
2 people
vaccines
watching.
from anyone.
I went to
who
school
wanted
in New York City. What school did you went to in New York City?
COVID-19 vaccine
How's your week
is
been?
no
My
longer
week has
for
been chilling, bro.
under the age of 65. In announcing the change,
Pretty much same routine. I wake up, I do the same stuff every day, bro. You know?
Things cannot be true at the same
I do the
moment.
same stuff every single day.
Let's clear this up right now, Secretary.
Oh, Columbia University. That's what's up, dude. That's fire. That's a good school, bro.
6 months of age.
What subject did you manage in?
Have a COVID booster at their local pharmacy today.
Anybody can get the booster.
I'm sorry?
Anybody can get it.
Anyone. So you're saying that is now the official rule of HHS. Anybody is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No.
Just about to get some shopping
Then the
dropping off.
consequence of
Then
that
I
in
think
many states
I'll be sleeping all this weekend. Work has exhausted me, and my motorbike is going for a service tomorrow. What kind of motorbike you got, bro? I got an electric bike, but I'm about to get my license back soon, so I'm gonna be in the car with you
I'm
guys.
going to recommend a product for which
BA
there's no clinical
East
data
Asian
for that indication.
Studies.
Is that what I should
BA
be doing?
Financial Economy.
Oh,
that's fire, bro. East Asian
You're going like this.
is like, you could pretty much say that's where I'm from, bro. East Asia. Euro-Asian.
You just changed the classification of the code.
I have a
Taking
125
them away from people.
some Jet 14. It's on the L plane. But anything it needs to. Yeah, hell yeah. 125 is more than enough for the city. Or wherever you at, probably the 125 is more than enough. 125 goes mad fast, probably like 60 miles an hour.
I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said,
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying when you said that? Because you are the one who said you would not take them away.
The entire performance was kind of like a weird Trump impression with very heavy breathing mixed in. Kennedy, as he saw, was aggressive, and he was truculent and defensive. He refused to answer questions with substance. He blustered his way through the whole thing, even when he was caught lying. And so now,
I have been a leader on IVF, which is fertilization. The IVF, I have been a leader. In fact,
Yeah, it's
when
great
they got a
for
very negative
commuting.
decision on IVF from
It's
the Alabama
limited to
courts,
75, but
I
it's
saw the
never
people
been
of
up to
Alabama
that.
and the legislature 2 days
Yeah,
later
you can't
voted
use
it
highways
in.
with that.
I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization IVF.
it's been a week since Donald Trump made that instantly classic proclamation. I've been a leader on fertilization. Of course, everyone who pays any attention to the issue of reproductive rights knows that it's Trump's party that has been mobilizing against in vitro fertilization. Indeed, it was Trump's hand-picked MAGA Supreme Court that paved the way for IVF to be threatened in the first place, as it was in Alabama, when that court overturned Roe v. Wade. Now, there is an actual way to fix this problem. You could just pass a law in Congress, signed by the president, protecting access to IVF. It's something Democrats have actually been trying to do all year. In fact, today, the Senate once again took a vote on protecting in vitro fertilization at the federal level. But the leader on fertilization, who we should note is never shy about forcing his Republicans to support a killer bill, he was nowhere to be found. Didn't say a single thing on it. And guess what? Oh, look at that. The measure was rejected by all but 2 Republicans. Trump's vice presidential candidate, Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, who was so committed to this issue, didn't even bother to show up to vote. Senator LaFonza Butler is a Democrat of California. She voted to protect IVF access today, and she joins me now. I guess the result was not surprising today, Senator, although I did wonder after the leader of the Republican Party staked out this claim that he was a leader in IVF. He even talked about
if you want to replace your job's paycheck with an if you want to
The night sky over Europe lit up with sudden flashes of fire. Explosions tore through the silence. Air
My
raid sirens
shopping is
wailed in the
here,
distance,
5 minutes.
And hotlines between world capitals burned
That's
with
right.
urgency. In an instant, it
Do you
became
have
clear.
any pets?
This war
Or
is no longer
considering getting
confined
one?
to the
Hell yeah, I
frontiers
want to
of
get a
Eastern
dog.
Ukraine.
I used to have a dog, but he
It is
died,
spilling
bro.
across borders,
I used to have a
reaching
little
deep into
poodle.
Russian territory and shaking the fragile unity of the West. For ordinary people, the headlines hit like a storm. Drones flying hundreds of miles, factories erupting in flames, secret meetings unfolding in the shadows. But for diplomats and generals, the danger is far greater because one wrong move could transform a crisis into an all-out confrontation. What the world is witnessing is not just another battle. It is a turning point where the battlefield, the negotiating table, and the turmoil inside Russia all collide at once. But what sparked this spiral of tension? Why did a sudden raid in Bryansk send shockwaves through the global chessboard of war? And what exactly is unfolding on Russia's borderlands? Let's find out with Navy secrets. The clearest sign that this war has entered a dangerous new phase came from the forests of Bryansk, a Russian region once believed safe from battle. A group of Ukrainian special units, estimated between 15 and 25 fighters, crossed the border and launched a sudden raid. Moscow claimed that artillery batteries, multiple launch rocket systems, and even helicopter gunships were used to repel the attackers. Yet no independent evidence has confirmed those details, leaving open serious questions about what actually happened and how severe the fighting really was. For Ukraine, the raid carried deep symbolic weight. By striking across the border, Kyiv proved that Russian soil is no longer untouchable. The message was clear. Moscow cannot lock this war inside Donetsk or Kharkiv. For civilians, Hearing gunfire in their own villages shattered the illusion of safety that the Kremlin had promised. For the Russian army, it created an immediate problem. Forces meant for the offensive had to be pulled back to guard border towns and protect vital supply routes. This was not a massive armored push, but a deliberate choice to use small, mobile teams. Such units rely on speed, stealth, and shock, and even a few dozen men can force Russian commanders to respond
up,
with
Brandy?
heavy firepower.
Think
The
this is
disruption is
interesting, or should I
psychological as
change
much
it?
as military, leaving Russian officers uneasy about where the next strike might fall. Yet the impact of the Bryansk raid was not limited to the battlefield. It quickly spilled into the political and propaganda space, where Moscow tried to rewrite the story to its advantage.
Who's got you? I got you? Of course
Russia's
I got
response
you.
followed a
I
predictable
love you.
pattern. State television rushed to declare victory, boasting that the attackers had been crushed with overwhelming firepower. Officials portrayed the clash as proof of
I wanna
Moscow's
meet up with
control
you
and
soon.
strength.
ASAP.
But the absence of convincing evidence and the vague reports of casualties suggest that the Kremlin may have inflated its response to hide the embarrassment of being caught off guard on its own territory. For Washington and its allies, the meeting goes beyond one border skirmish. The raid in Bryansk shows what happens when deterrence is weak at the highest
I
level.
might get my car
A
soon.
White House viewed as hesitant has allowed
Not
Moscow to
my
believe
license,
it can
I have a
dominate
car.
the narrative,
I'm driving
while
straight
leaving
to you.
Ukraine to pursue bold and unconventional methods to keep pressure on Russia. The result is a border raid with
Bet you
global
we'll hit it
consequences,
off.
challenging Russia's image of security
We chillin'
and
every
forcing
day.
NATO capitals to consider new risks.
Coffee, food.
In the end,
Park.
whether 3 fighters or 20 were killed
Tennis or
is less
pickleball.
important than the fact that Ukrainian troops pierced Russian territory at all. Ukraine showed it could strike across the line. Russian citizens experienced war on their doorstep, and the myth of invulnerability was broken in front of the Kremlin's own people. But Moscow was not ready to admit weakness. Almost immediately, it launched a new information offensive, claiming the raid involved foreign mercenaries, a narrative that would open the next stage of this conflict. Russia is fighting this war with tanks and missiles,
Always eat.
but also with propaganda.
You're gonna be 500
Words
pounds
have
next
become
year.
one of the
Yeah,
Kremlin's sharpest
nah.
weapons.
Even though I eat, I exercise
Moscow
though.
seeks to control how both citizens and foreign audiences understand the conflict.
Nah, I am. I'm trying to pay attention
In
to this.
recent weeks, Russian state
It's
media
crazy.
has repeated claims that mercenaries from Turkey, Poland, and Georgia are fighting on Ukraine's front lines. These accusations are presented as fact, yet no concrete evidence is
You
ever
know how
shown.
it is.
Western intelligence agencies and independent journalists confirm the stories are recycled scripts designed to spread suspicion.
Their media is
The
different,
goal
bro.
is simple. Moscow wants to portray the war as more than a bilateral struggle. If Russians believe they are battling NATO, not just Ukraine, then sacrifices appear justified. Heavy losses can be explained, and mobilization is easier to sell. This narrative reframes the conflict as a fight for national survival, even though the evidence does not support it. This strategy is not new. The Soviet Union once ran vast disinformation campaigns across the world. Today, the Kremlin modernizes those tools with television, telegram channels, and automated bot farms. European cyber research groups report Russian-linked bot activity has risen by almost 40% since summer. Thousands of coordinated posts flood social media every day, creating the illusion of widespread support for Moscow's narrative. In some cases, bot networks target debates in Germany, France, or the United States, amplifying voices that call for reducing aid to Ukraine. The purpose is twofold. Abroad, propaganda aims to divide NATO allies by fueling doubt among ordinary voters. If citizens believe their governments are hiding troop deployments, trust breaks down. At home, the same messages boost morale by presenting Russian soldiers as defending against the combined might of the West. This hides mounting casualties, justifies further mobilization, and distracts from sanctions, shortages of technology, and factory closures across Russia. Still, propaganda cannot erase all reality. Ukrainian intelligence has intercepted phone calls from the front lines. In one recording, a conscript said, "They tell us we fight NATO, but here we only see Ukrainians, and they fight harder than expected. These cracks show the distance between the state narrative and battlefield truth. Inside Russia, families also notice contradictions. Reports on television speak of victories, but funerals for young soldiers tell another story. Over time, such gaps erode public trust. Abroad, the impact is uneven. In Africa and Latin America, Russian outlets like RT and Sputnik still gain audiences by presenting Moscow as a counterweight to Western power. But in Europe and North America, the propaganda largely fails. A survey in Germany found fewer than 10% of citizens trust Russian media, while in Poland the number was even lower. This shows that Moscow
Hey,
can
it's
shape
still on.
some
I'm back.
narratives
Yes,
globally,
Zilat.
yet struggles most in the countries that matter most to Ukraine's defense.
I'm watching something interesting now.
The danger lies in how propaganda shapes the ground for escalation. If Russians believe NATO soldiers are already engaged,
No, you're cute.
then any clash with Western forces can be
Thank
portrayed
you. I
as
love you
defense.
guys.
Words set the stage for real military choices. The Kremlin knows it cannot fully stop Ukraine's battlefield gains with weapons alone. Western-supplied drones, HIMARS rocket systems, and long-range missiles have destroyed ammunition depots, bridges, and command posts.
I'm definitely gonna
Unable
tell
to
you.
block these strikes directly, Moscow leans even harder on
I
information
painted it
warfare to keep its population committed.
long time ago.
Analysts warn this narrative struggle may outlast the war itself, shaping how future generations see it. But propaganda cannot cover the sound of explosions. Drone strikes in Crimea, blasts in Belgorod, and fires at fuel depots prove Ukraine can hit deep inside Russian territory. These attacks damage infrastructure and shake confidence in Moscow's promises of safety.
Now
No
I'm
state
eating whole
broadcast
wheat
can hide the
matzah.
fear when ordinary Russians hear explosions near their own homes.
Whole wheat.
While Moscow pours energy into its propaganda war, Ukraine unleashes a strike that rattles Russia's home front. Distance no longer guarantees safety. Ukraine showed this when long-range drones flew more than 1,200 kilometers to strike Tatarstan.
I tried.
The attack damaged a Shahed drone assembly site and nearby logistics depots, shocking a region that had believed itself far from the war. Satellite photos confirmed burn marks and roof damage. Analysts called the strike both tactical and symbolic. It proved that Ukraine can hit Russia's industrial heartland. Within days, Moscow scrambled Panzer air defense systems to guard the site. The rush made clear that Russia had not expected such deep strikes. For years, officials repeated that central Russia was safe, untouchable behind layers of defenses. That narrative collapsed in one night. Citizens who thought geography protected them were suddenly confronted with flames. The strike sent a message to Moscow and the world. Ukraine can reach further than anyone imagined, and even Russia's safe zones are vulnerable. The Tatarstan plant matters because it produces Shahed drones, designed in Iran but assembled in Russia. These drones are a cornerstone of Moscow's war strategy. Thousands have been launched at Ukrainian cities, aimed at crippling power grids and spreading fear. By striking the plant, Ukraine targeted both military production and the symbol of Russian-Iranian cooperation. Western experts noted that even partial damage could slow assembly lines, reducing Moscow's ability to terrorize Ukrainian civilians. The strike also showcased Ukraine's technical progress. Drones capable of traveling 1,200 kilometers require advanced navigation, efficient engines, and stealth. Analysts compared them to early cruise missiles, cheap, effective, and disruptive. This creates an economic mismatch. Ukraine spends tens of thousands per drone, while Russia responds with interceptors worth hundreds of thousands. Each drone that flies deep into Russia forces Moscow to defend wide areas, stretching already thin resources and driving up costs across the war effort. The attack revealed clear cracks in Russia's air defense network. Pantsir units were deployed only after the strike, circling the facility in a hurry. Instead of showing strength, it exposed weakness. Protecting one plant meant pulling defenses from elsewhere, leaving new gaps open. This is the defender's dilemma. Too many targets, not enough interceptors. Ukraine exploits this by probing repeatedly until a weakness appears. The psychological effect was immediate. People in Tatarstan who once thought the war was distant now saw smoke in their own region. Social media lit up with posts of fear and frustration. Residents
God bless
asked how
you too.
Ukrainian drones could fly so far undetected. For Moscow, this was dangerous. A controlled narrative collapsed in front of
founding.
ordinary citizens. Once doubt spreads, propaganda loses power, and the government struggles to maintain confidence. The strike had political consequences abroad. European leaders
What?
described it as a turning point. In Germany, Poland, and the Baltic states, officials argued that the attack proved Russia's defense industry is vulnerable. This fueled calls for more long-range missiles and drones to be sent
What
to
up,
Ukraine.
Lewis?
Strategically, it undermined Moscow's narrative. Russia once claimed its heartland was secure, while Ukraine remained exposed. Now, every drone that hits deep
Ukraine is
territory
mad
flips that
strong.
story. Kyiv can project power inside Russia, shifting both perception and reality. The cost exchange also favors Ukraine.
These
Cheap
countries
drones
are
force
also
Russia to waste expensive
mad
interceptors,
corruption.
draining its economy faster. For Europe, the message is clear. Aid is working. For Russia, the challenge is bigger than one strike. Defenses are stretched thinner, industries feel exposed, and citizens realize that war is closer than they imagined. The Baltic states understand Russian pressure better than anyone in Europe. That is why Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania reacted so strongly when suggestions appeared about ceding Ukrainian territory to Moscow in a possible peace settlement. For them, such an idea is not only unrealistic, but also dangerous. They argue that letting Russia keep land taken by force would create a precedent that undermines the entire European order. Estonian Prime Minister Kaja Kallas gave the sharpest warning. She stated clearly that giving land to Putin would be a trap. In her view, rewarding violence guarantees that Moscow will strike again. Latvia and Lithuania echoed the same message. Both governments stressed that compromise with Russia cannot bring real peace but will instead invite more wars. The memory of Soviet domination shapes this outlook. For the Baltic peoples, weakness invites aggression,
God
while
bless
only
them.
firm strength ensures survival. Geography makes the issue personal. Sitting on NATO's eastern frontier, they view every missile hitting Kyiv or drone over Odessa as a reminder of their own vulnerability.
Wow.
This hard stance is no longer limited to the Baltic capitals. Poland has consistently rejected any proposal that weakens Ukraine's sovereignty. Germany and France, once more cautious, now state openly that Ukraine's independence is not negotiable. The European Union has tied billions of euros in financial and military aid to Kyiv's territorial integrity, making clear that support will continue as long as Ukraine resists Russian aggression. For the EU, credibility
it's
is at
crazy.
stake.
Those drones
Leaders
making
argue
noise.
that Europe cannot claim to defend stability while tolerating conquest. The principle is simple. There can be no lasting peace in Europe without Ukraine. History gives a warning. In the 1930s, attempts to appease aggressors only paved the way for wider war. Many fear that repeating that mistake would make the continent more unstable, not less. That is why Brussels now repeats the message that compromise with Putin is not a solution.
Like a
Instead, it would plant the seeds for another conflict and leave NATO's eastern flank more exposed than ever before.
Damn.
The Baltic warnings also target audiences across the Atlantic. Some voices in Washington discuss ways to shorten the war, even if that means Ukraine must give up land. European allies see this with alarm. They insist that quick fixes are unacceptable. Sacrificing Ukraine would not end the conflict, but would embolden Russia and weaken NATO's credibility. The debate has sharpened as new American proposals emerge. In Europe, these plans are viewed with suspicion. Baltic officials argue that any concession would prove to Moscow that aggression pays. For them, the issue is not only Ukraine's future, but also their own survival. Every missile strike on Kyiv or drone attack on Odessa is seen as a warning for Riga,
That's a
Tallinn, or
fact.
Vilnius. By holding firm,
Hell yeah,
the
Zila.
Baltic states have become moral leaders in Europe's response. Their clarity pressures larger capitals to act with more determination. Their message is clear. Peace cannot be built on concessions, and Ukraine's borders must be respected.
Hell yes, facts.
Before the Alaska summit, an unusual emergency meeting took place in the United Kingdom. Delegates from the United States, the European Union, and Ukraine gathered behind closed doors to discuss how to respond to mounting pressure from Washington. The White House wanted to test a controversial idea known as land for peace. American officials argued that giving Russia limited territory might end the war faster, stabilize energy markets, calm inflation, and reduce the long-term cost of U.S. support. With elections approaching in Washington, the push reflected domestic political pressure as much as strategic calculation. For Europe, the proposal sounded like a return to old mistakes.
Especially
Leaders in
Russia
Estonia,
wants to fight.
Poland, and the Baltic states warned that such a deal would reward aggression and leave Europe exposed to future threats. Even France and Germany, often seen as more willing to negotiate, sided with their eastern neighbors. Their demand was clear. Any settlement must begin with a ceasefire and a full Russian withdrawal, not concessions. To Europeans, trading land for peace would set a precedent that undermines international law, NATO's credibility, and the basic security of the continent itself. The sharp difference between Washington and Europe quickly became public. For years, both sides had emphasized unity in supporting Ukraine. But the Alaska discussions showed cracks in that front. American newspapers described the plan as a bold step toward diplomacy. European outlets, however, portrayed it as appeasement disguised in new language, pointing to history's failures. The unusual nature of the talks became a story in itself. Instead of allies presenting a common plan, they were openly disagreeing in front of the world, sending shockwaves through NATO watchers. Reports from inside the summit room described tense exchanges. U.S. envoys stressed the economic burden of the war and argued that voters at home were growing impatient. European representatives countered that security cannot be measured only in dollars or election cycles. For them, the principle of sovereignty outweighed financial costs, and they believed the moral obligation to resist Moscow was greater than short-term relief. Analysts noted this debate marked one of the rare moments when NATO partners clashed so visibly. The disagreement
I'm not
risked sending a
convinced
dangerous
either.
signal to Moscow that Western unity could fracture if pressure and fatigue continued to build. For Ukraine, the Alaska Plan was never an option. President Volodymyr Zelensky and his team rejected the idea outright, insisting that no government in Kyiv could survive if it agreed to give up territory. They pointed to polling that showed more than 80% of Ukrainians opposed any settlement involving concessions, even if the war lasted for years. For Kyiv, giving away land would not stop the war. It would only invite Russia to regroup, rearm, and strike again later with even greater force.
Exactly.
The message was reinforced by Ukrainian diplomats at the summit. They argued that peace cannot be purchased at the expense of sovereignty or traded for temporary calm. Their stance gained sympathy from many European leaders who agreed that history proves appeasement always fails.
I
At
didn't
the
get it
same
either.
time, analysts warned that the transatlantic rift was now exposed for everyone to see. Washington was searching for a quick solution shaped by domestic politics, while Europe was preparing for a drawn-out struggle. The Alaska Plan revealed those differences in dramatic fashion and showed how fragile Allied unity can become under pressure. As allies argued, Zelensky's rejection of concessions was followed by new turmoil
I'm not
inside
sure.
Russia itself. President Volodymyr Zelensky answered the Alaska Plan with a decisive no. He reminded allies that Ukraine's constitution strictly forbids ceding territory under any circumstance. For him, this was not just political theater, but a matter of law and national survival. He argued that trading sovereignty for the illusion of calm would be both illegal and reckless. Peace built on concessions, Zelensky warned, would only reward violence and guarantee future wars. His message to Washington and Brussels was unmistakable. Ukraine's stance is rooted in constitutional order, not in shifting political winds. The refusal carried deep symbolism. Zelensky presented Ukraine as the defender of principle while portraying Moscow as an aggressor, searching for shortcuts to victory. He pointed to surveys showing that more than 4 out of 5 Ukrainians reject any deal involving land concessions. That national unity gave him the legitimacy to resist
Kids in a
outside pressure
sandbox,
and the
hell.
strength to rally partners abroad. By grounding Ukraine's position in both constitutional law and overwhelming public support, Zelensky firmly closed the door on the Alaska Plan. He made clear that Kyiv will not be bullied into surrendering its land, and that any future peace must be based on justice and accountability, not appeasement. This rejection positioned Ukraine as firm and united at a moment when allies were divided. While Ukraine projected clarity and unity, Russia entered a storm of domestic troubles that exposed its weakness. In Ryazan, a chemical plant explosion killed workers, disrupted production, and highlighted safety risks in an industry already strained by sanctions and war demands. In St. Petersburg, a naval ship capsized while docked, damaging valuable equipment and embarrassing the Russian Navy in one of its proudest cities. These back-to-back incidents shook public confidence and fueled speculation about poor maintenance, corruption, and overstretched resources. State media tried to downplay the events, but images circulated quickly, showing a system under stress. Adding to the chaos, the Kremlin announced yet another shakeup in military leadership, replacing the general in charge of the Northern Front. It was only the latest in a long series of reshuffles since the invasion began. Analysts said the pattern reveals both frustration at failures and a lack of coherent strategy. Constant changes at the top erode morale and create confusion, while battlefield performance continues to lag. The combined effect of accidents, corruption, and leadership churn paints a picture of instability. For Ukraine and its partners, the contrast was striking. Zelensky stood firm on law and principle, while Russia struggled with disasters at home and indecision in its military command. The symbolism was powerful. Ukraine's unity is its strength, while Moscow's instability betrays weakness. From the battlefield to the negotiating table, from Kyiv to Moscow, every sign now suggests that the war has entered a new and dangerous phase. The chain of events, from the Bryansk clashes to Ukraine's long-range UAV strike into Tatarstan, from the Alaska Plan debate to Europe's united response, and finally Russia's domestic turmoil, paints a picture of a conflict moving into a new and more dangerous phase. Ukraine has demonstrated both military capability and political will, showing it can hit far beyond the front lines while refusing to trade its sovereignty. Europe, often divided in the past, now appears more determined to resist what leaders call a false peace that rewards aggression. Russia, meanwhile, faces cracks at home with accidents, leadership changes, and growing uncertainty. Looking ahead, the war is unlikely to slow.
What's up, Brandy?
Instead, escalation seems
Bill Cosby,
inevitable
what up, my
as
guy?
US-EU relations are tested by Washington's controversial proposals and the global fallout of President Trump's policies. The balance of unity, resolve, and endurance will shape the next stage of this struggle. War always shows us the cost of failure, but history also reminds us that peace is built when people understand why conflict begins. The lesson is not only about weapons or battles, but about choices, alliances, and leadership.
Crazy.
Every strike and every negotiation shapes the future of nations. So the real question is, will we allow fear and division to drive us toward endless conflict? Or will we learn from the past and demand solutions that protect peace and dignity? By studying these events together, we gain the knowledge to push leaders toward responsibility. If you believe peace must be defended not only by armies, but also by awareness, share this story,
Bill.
join the discussion, and think about how unity,
Bill
justice,
Cosby's the
and
man,
resilience
bro.
can prevent tomorrow's wars. Because understanding is the first step toward peace.
I haven't heard from you in a long time, bro. What are we watching next, guys? Got any idea or what?
The ocean hid a massive threat, but the U.S. Coast Guard just pulled it into the light, breaking all records with their biggest drug offload ever, worth nearly $500 million at Port Everglades in Florida. And this bold move spotlights their fierce battle against sneaky sea runners. This all went down on August 25th, 2025, as teams from the Cutter Hamilton dumped a massive load of captured goods after 2 grueling months hunting vessels on open waves. They topped the 2021 mark of 61,100
You'll get it fixed, don't worry, bro.
proving Ocean Watch's block dangers far from land. For instance, the catch stemmed from 19 separate high seas grabs tied to South American hubs, and high-ups hailed it as a significant strike that halts killer streams before they flood neighborhoods. Yet behind these numbers lies a deeper fight against shadowy networks. What shadows did they chase, and what might come next in this hidden war? Let's explore with Navy secrets. The U.S. Coast Guard pulled off a stunning operation, grabbing about 61,000 pounds, or over 27 tons, of cocaine, plus 14,000 pounds, roughly 15.9 thousand kilograms, of marijuana in a bold campaign. These numbers mark a historic high for stopping huge drug loads at sea. This massive haul, offloaded on August 25th, 2025, at Port Everglades, Florida, smashed the previous 2021 record of 61,130 pounds.
My dad used an
It
actual
shows how
wrench
sharp planning
for a
and tough sea
while.
patrols can hit criminal networks hard before their shipments ever touch American soil. The exact totals tell an even bigger story. Official reports confirm crews seized 61,740 pounds of cocaine and 14,400 pounds of marijuana from fast-moving boats sneaking through key ocean routes. These vessels, often small and speedy, carried loads from drug hubs like Colombia and Ecuador, aiming for Central America or U.S. coasts. The Coast Guard used high-speed chases and precise tips to catch them. For example, on July 7th, off Colombia's Malpelo Island, they stopped a boat hiding 5,200 pounds of cocaine in secret compartments.
Damn.
Another bust on August 12th near Panama's Coiba Island netted 6,300 pounds. These grabs show how relentless patrols can break up complex supply lines. This operation, part of a 2-month mission led by the Cutter
Bill.
Hamilton, relied on brilliant teamwork and advanced tools. Unlike land busts, where drugs often slip through, sea interdictions hit traffickers far from their targets. The Coast Guard's ability to track and board boats in open water, sometimes thousands of miles from shore, makes it challenging for smugglers to dodge. They use drones and radar to spot suspicious vessels, then sent elite teams to board them. These teams, trained for risky searches, found drugs hidden in fuel tanks or under fake floors, proving their skill in harsh conditions. The scale of this haul shakes up the drug trade's playbook. Losing
Definitely under the
27
car.
tons of cocaine cost cartels millions, forcing them to rethink routes and rebuild trust in their crews. Each boat stop adds delays, jacks up their costs, and shrinks their profits. For instance, replacing just the cocaine could cost over $400 million, not counting lost deals or bribes.
Damn.
This financial hit weakens groups like Colombia's Clan del Golfo, which rely on sea routes to move bulk loads. It also sends a loud message. The ocean is no longer a safe highway for their trade. Beyond money, these seizures disrupt the bigger picture of organized crime. Cartels don't just ship drugs, they fuel violence and corruption across borders. By stopping this load, the Coast Guard cut off a major pipeline that funds gangs and destabilizes regions. The operation nabbed 22 suspects, now facing charges, which could lead to intel on higher-ups in the trade. Unlike smaller busts that only grab street-level dealers, these ocean hits target the source, making it harder for cartels to regroup. The Coast Guard's edge comes from its unique role. As a military branch and law enforcement, it can board any vessel in international waters under U.S.
Temporarily
agreements.
fixed.
This power lets them act fast, without waiting for drugs to hit ports. They also used real-time data from satellites and allied navies to track boats. For example, tips from Panama's Coast Guard helped pinpoint a vessel off the Azuero Peninsula on July 15th, yielding 4,800 pounds of cocaine. This kind of coordination shows how global partnerships make big busts possible. What sets this apart is the sheer variety of catches. Some boats carried small loads, like 500 pounds of marijuana stuffed in barrels, while others hid massive cocaine stashes in custom-built hulls. Each stop required different tactics, from helicopter warnings to nighttime raids. The Coast Guard's ability to adapt, using everything from speedboats to long-range cutters, kept smugglers guessing.
Damn.
This flexibility, backed by years of training, turned a challenging mission into a record-breaking win. This haul also hints at how traffickers are evolving.
You better be, because I
Some
stare
boats
at
carry
you.
cash and guns alongside drugs, showing
love you.
cartels are mixing cargoes to spread risk. Others used semi-submersible crafts, nearly invisible to radar, to pass patrols. These tricks complicate interdictions, but the Coast Guard's tech, like infrared scanners, stayed one step ahead. Spotting these patterns early helps predict where smugglers might try next, giving crews a leg up in future chases. The operation's success builds confidence in sea-based defense.
The
Unlike
TV,
land
me too.
borders
I'm
where walls
focused.
and checkpoints can only do so much, the ocean offers a wide-open chance to stop threats early. This bust proves that well-funded teams with clear plans can dominate that space. It's not just about one record. It's about showing cartels that their biggest routes are under fire. Every pound taken off the water saves communities from the chaos drug spring. But the weight of this seizure is only part of the story. The real danger lies in what these drugs could have done if they'd reached American streets. Next, we'll dig into how this massive haul could have fueled a deadly wave of overdoses across the nation.
Damn.
About 80% of all drug seizures in the US happen far out on the water, proving that ocean-based stops are the best way to cut off illegal supplies before they ever reach land. And this approach saves massive efforts chasing dealers in cities. As the world's top force in fighting drug smuggling at sea, the US Coast Guard uses special powers, like boarding foreign boats, to strike threats early and keep America's borders safe without needing massive ground forces. Their work in busy ocean zones, such as the Eastern Pacific, where fast boats try to slip past, has blocked most shipments from hitting ports, and this high success rate means fewer resources spent on street-level arrests. This strategy works because it hits the problem at its root. Instead of waiting for drugs to flood neighborhoods and fuel crime, the Coast Guard stops shipments hundreds of miles from shore, disrupting the cartel's plans before they can spread chaos. By focusing on sea routes, they target the main pipelines from South America, where most illegal narcotics start their journey. This method cuts off supplies and stretches cartel resources thin, making it harder for them to operate. For example, intercepting a single boat can delay a cartel's delivery schedule by weeks, forcing them to spend millions to replace lost cargo and crews. The Coast Guard's unique role makes this possible. As a military branch and a law enforcement agency, it has the authority to act in international waters where local police can't go. Their cutters, equipped with advanced radar and drones, can track suspicious vessels for days, waiting for the perfect moment to board. These teams, trained for high-stakes missions, use speed and surprise to take control. For instance, on June 10, 2025, a cutter patrolling near Colombia's San Andres Island spotted a go-fast boat using night vision gear. After a swift chase, they seized 2,100 pounds of cocaine, hidden in sealed crates, showing how their reach extends far beyond US shores. The Eastern Pacific, a vast stretch often called the drug superhighway, is where this strategy shines. Stretching from South America to Central America, it's a favorite for smugglers because its size makes hiding easier. Cartels use small, agile boats that blend into fishing traffic or hug remote coastlines. But the Coast Guard counters with layered tactics. Satellites track movements, planes scan from above, and cutters close in for the grab. This setup has kept most drugs from reaching land. In 2024 alone, sea interdiction stopped over 200,000 pounds of narcotics, saving countless lives and easing pressure on border agents. These ocean wins are no fluke. They come from years of honing skills and tech. The Coast Guard uses real-time data from U.S. agencies like the DEA and
Our
foreign
own gov
partners
is.
to pinpoint targets. For example, on July 30th, 2025, intel from Ecuador's Navy led to a bust 400 miles off their coast, netting 3,200 pounds of marijuana stashed in a boat's hull. This kind of teamwork,
Hell yeah,
paired
the
with
government.
tools like infrared scanners, lets crews spot hidden compartments even in rough seas. Each success builds trust in the system, proving that sea patrols are the strongest shield against drug flows. This approach also saves resources in a big way. Land-based busts often involve lengthy investigations, multiple agencies, and risky raids in populated areas. By contrast, far from civilians, sea interdictions handle the problem in one go. A single cutter can seize tons of drugs in a day, work that would take months on land. This efficiency frees police to focus on local crime, while the Coast Guard handles the global threat. It's a smart division of labor that maximizes impact without stretching budgets thin. The recent Florida offload, with its record-breaking 76,140 pounds, shows this strategy at its peak. Every pound stopped at sea is one less fueling addiction or violence in American towns. The Coast Guard's ability to dominate open waters sends a clear signal to cartels. Their safest routes are under fire. Unlike land borders where drugs can slip through in small batches, the ocean offers a chance to catch huge loads in one sweep. This makes maritime work the backbone of America's drug fight.
Chicken
Still,
farm?
cartels
That's good.
keep adapting. Some now use low-profile boats that barely show on radar, while others bribe local fishers to carry smaller loads. The Coast Guard counters with better training and tech upgrades, like faster drones and AI-driven tracking. These tools help them stay ahead, but the fight never stops. Each bust forces smugglers to rethink, giving the U.S. a chance to tighten the net further. The Florida haul, for instance, likely pushed cartels to pause operations, as replacing 61,740 pounds of cocaine costs more than just money. It risks exposing their networks. This sea-first strategy also shapes the bigger war on crime. By hitting supply lines early, the Coast Guard weakens groups that fund terror and corruption. Their work protects not just the U.S., but also allies in Central America, where cartels destabilize governments. The 22 suspects caught in this operation, now facing U.S. courts, could reveal key details about cartel leaders, making future busts even sharper. This ripple effect shows why ocean patrols are a game changer. The success of these efforts hinges on more than just cutters and
Well,
crews.
just lay down with me.
It's about building a relentless offensive that cartels can't outrun. That's where Operation Pacific Viper comes in, taking this strategy to the next level. In the next section, we'll explore how this bold campaign ramped up patrols and turned the Pacific into a trap for smugglers. A potent mix of U.S. and allied forces, including ships like USCGC Hamilton, Diligence, Vigilant, USS Cole, USS
Better
Minneapolis,
be.
St. Paul, and the Dutch Navy's Friesland, came together in a massive push, and this teamwork made spotting and seizing hidden drug cargoes far stronger. Units like the Joint Interagency Task Force South, JIATF South, scanned oceans and skies to guide boarding teams. At the same time, international partners shared critical tips on local threats, turning lone patrols into unified victories. For example, Friesland, paired with a U.S. team, grabbed over 5,450 pounds of cocaine off Venezuela's Aragua coast on July 3, 2025, and USS Cole aided in a 2,425-pound haul near Bonaire on June 30th, proving how shared efforts cover vast waters and hit tough smuggling spots. This
Damn.
operation's success hinged on seamless coordination across agencies and nations. JIATF South, based in Key West, Florida, acted as the mission's nerve center, pulling real-time data from satellites, reconnaissance planes, and allied intelligence networks. Their analysts built a clear picture of smuggling patterns, spotting suspicious boats moving from South American ports like Colombia's Buenaventura or Ecuador's Esmeraldas. This intel let cutters adjust their paths quickly, closing in on targets before they could vanish into busy sea lanes. For instance, on July 10, 2025, GATF South tipped off a patrol near Costa Rica's Cocos Island, leading to a seizure of 3,100 pounds of cocaine hidden in a boat's fuel tanks, showing how data-driven teamwork delivers results. International partners brought unique strengths to the table. With their ship Friesland, the Netherlands added speed and expertise in Caribbean waters, a hotspot for drug runs. Working with the U.S. Coast Guard's LADET 404, Friesland's crew used shared training to execute a flawless boarding off Venezuela's coast. Their July 3rd bust, netting 5,450 pounds of cocaine, relied on Dutch radar systems and U.S. boarding skills, a perfect blend of resources.
Garlic is regular.
This wasn't a one-off. Months of joint drills ensured both crews could act as one, sharing signals and tactics to outmaneuver smugglers who rely on speed and stealth to escape.
Damn, eat the guy.
The U.S. Navy also played a significant role, bringing firepower and reach. USS Cole, a destroyer built for combat missions, pivoted to support drug interdictions near Bonaire on June 30th, grabbing 2,425 pounds of cocaine alongside Coast Guard teams.
Damn.
Its advanced sonar and long-range sensors helped track a vessel that tried blending into local fishing traffic. Meanwhile, USS Minneapolis St. Paul, a newer littoral combat ship, patrolled shallow waters near Panama, aiding a July 25th stop that seized 2,800 pounds of marijuana. These Navy ships, not usually focused on drug busts, showed how military assets can boost law enforcement when missions align, covering more ocean than cutters alone could manage. This teamwork wasn't just about ships. JIATF South coordinated with agencies like the DEA and Customs Service, pooling intel to predict smuggling routes. For example, tips from Panama's Maritime Service flagged a suspicious boat off the Azuero Peninsula on July 15th, leading to a 2,200-pound cocaine grab.
Damn.
Foreign allies, including Colombia and Costa Rica, shared local knowledge about cartel hideouts, helping pinpoint launch points. This global network turned the Eastern Pacific and Caribbean into a tightly watched grid where smugglers had fewer hiding places. The result? 19 successful interdictions, with 34 suspects detained, disrupting entire trafficking chains. Each partner brought something critical. Coast Guard cutters like Diligence and Vigilant handled high-speed chases, using their agility to corner fast boats. On August 1st, Diligence intercepted a vessel 500 miles west of Ecuador, seizing 3,900 pounds of cocaine hidden under fishing gear. Vigilant, patrolling near Jamaica on July 20th, nabbed 1,800 pounds of marijuana in a nighttime raid. These smaller but steady hauls added up, showing how multiple ships spread the workload and kept pressure on smugglers across vast regions. The operation's strength came from the trust built over the years. US and Dutch forces, for instance, have trained together since the 2000s under agreements like the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative. These drills teach crews to share radio channels, align boarding protocols, and predict each other's moves in chaotic chases. This unity let them act fast, like when Friesland and LADET 404 boarded a boat in rough seas, using night vision gear to spot hidden cargo. Such coordination isn't easy. Making split-second decisions work takes months of planning and constant communication. This joint effort also sent us.
Poland knows that it needs to be ready for anything. The Ukraine war has taught it that, especially now that Russia's aerial assaults against Ukraine are getting so close that they're starting to impact Poland. No strikes have occurred yet, but Poland has been forced to scramble their jets several times thanks to Russia's drones and missiles. The Polish borders need to be protected, and the US may be on the verge of ensuring that happens. US troops may soon mass at the Polish border, and it's not just the eastern flank those troops will protect. Kaliningrad, which is more to Poland's north, is also on high alert due to US troops potentially amassing. On September 3rd, US President Donald Trump welcomed the Polish President, Karol Nawrocki, to the White House for a sit-down meeting in front of the world's press. The meeting was immediately remarkable for a simple fact. Trump spoke to Nawrocki instead of Poland's Prime Minister. In its reporting on the meeting, Reuters suggests that Trump may have made this choice because he favors Nawrocki over Tusk. The former is a conservative nationalist whose political views more closely align with Trump's than those of the more centrist Tusk. The pomp and circumstance surrounding the meeting certainly suggests that Trump